Good afternoon. My name is Yaron Golgher. I'm the CEO and co-founder of I Know First. I Know First is an Israeli fintech company that developed a unique AI algorithm that generates daily forecasts for the financial markets and identify the best market opportunities. Every day, the algorithm is predicting more than 3,000 assets, including stocks, commodities, currencies, world indices, interest rates, ETFs, and identifying the best market opportunities among them. The brain behind the algorithm is Dr. Lipa Roitman, a scientist with more than 20 years of experience in the field of artificial intelligence and machine learning. He is from the Weizmann Institute in Israel. He's leading a unique R&D team that includes PhDs, AI and machine learning experts, Professor Yakubov from the Tel Aviv University, a developer, computer science and IT professionals, and also people from the background of math and statistics. And of course, IDF veterans, specifically from the intelligence unit. So what do? We are outperforming the market by using our AI algorithm. We are offering AI-based solutions for retail and institutional clients. And currently, we are launching an hedge fund with a leading investment house. We will get back to this slide later. So how the magic is done. Every day, we are collecting data from the quantitative data, of course, from the financial markets. We are adding the data to a 15 years stocks database. And during the night, there is a learning and prediction cycle. And by the next day, before the market's opening, we're getting the most important, the most updated prediction for different time frames. Short-term, mid-term, and also long-term. We have also independent models that focusing on the short-term trading, and we have also models that focusing on the long-term. Of course, the results are improving every day as the algorithm learns from its success and also from its failures. Dr. Roitman is going to talk more about the algorithm at the second part of the presentation, and he's going to speak about the secret sauce. But generally speaking, the proprietary machine learning algorithm is based, of course, of deep learning, artificial neural network, genetic algorithms, and we have developed a unique predictability indicator as the fitness function and the quality measure of the forecast. Not every market is predictable in the same level, and with this indicator, it's possible to identify the most predictable markets on a daily basis. Of course, if we are focusing on the most predictable markets, we saw that the performance is affected from the predictability. So, the algorithm is covering a growing universe of more than 3,000 assets, allowing us to focus and separate the most predictable assets, and also to identify investment opportunities, to generate trading ideas, and also to develop systematic trading strategies that utilizing the AI-based forecast. So how are we doing it? Every day, the algorithm is generating a daily prediction, daily heat map. The colors is indicating the specific prediction. The green color indicating assets that has a positive prediction, and the red color is indicated assets that have negative predictions. Within each cell, there are two important indicators. The first one is the signal. The signal is the predicted movement of the asset. This is the actual prediction. The second one is the predictability indicator. This is the historical correlation between the past forecasts and the actual market movements. And of course, it's important to focus on the most predictable markets and also the markets with the strongest signals in order to enhance the overall performance. The algorithm is sorting all the 3,000 assets based on the signal every day. And this is what you can see here on the left side. We are generating something like 20 heat maps for different time frames every day with all the 3,000 assets. And by the end of 2017, it's supposed to be more than 5,000 markets. We structured tier solutions offering. The first tier is the daily AI-based stock forecast. It's possible to customize the investment universe, of course. It can be based on specific portfolio. It can be based on specific sector, and then to get the best opportunities among the assets in the specific sector. And it's possible also to customize the investment universe based on specific stock exchange. Right now, we are focusing on the US stock market, of course, but it's possible to customize it also to different stock exchanges. On top of it, we develop wealth management solutions. We are converting the daily AI-based forecast into a portfolio, including the adjustments and the allocation of specific assets in the portfolio every day. Dr. Roitman is going to talk about interesting strategy in the second part of the presentation. But here you can see the results of the different strategies. On the bottom, you can see the performance of the S&P 500 during the last year. We are comparing ourselves to the S&P 500 because we were looking for the most, because of the liquidity issues, and all those strategies are focusing only on S&P 500 stocks. There are no small caps here, no mid caps, only S&P 500 stocks. And all the strategies are long-short strategies. You can see that the S&P 500 during the last year had a return of 12%. Our leading strategy had a return of 77% with impressive Sharpe ratio of 4.63. Based on those strategies, we are developing now different investment vehicles such as hedge fund and mutual funds. The different strategies are utilizing, of course, the daily indicators that the algorithm is generating every day. And the second part of the presentation is going to focus on one of those strategies. Some case studies. We are working right now with large European bank. They would like to create AI-based forecast for the Euronext in order to offer an advanced trading ideas generating tool for the private banking division based on the daily opportunities that the algorithm is identifying every day. They would like to offer an innovative tool for the premium clients in order to help them, of course, to increase their asset under management and also the trading activities. We are working with two leading banks that integrating right now the algorithmic forecast into the bank's research and advisory process. And they are using the algorithm also for their proprietary trading. We are launching now with a leading investment house a mutual fund based on the algorithm, and also an hedge fund. And on the second stage, they would like to develop a smart beta and actively manage ETFs based on the algorithmic predictions. And of course, US family offices that getting, on one end, customized algorithmic prediction based on their portfolio, and also they are using the best opportunities that the algorithm is identifying every day. By the end of 2017, we are planning to reach 10,000 qualified and retail clients from all over the world. And most of our clients are from the US and Europe, and also East Asia. Before Dr. Roitman will talk about some unique strategy, I would like to take the opportunity and to announce that by the end of 2017, we are planning to launch a unique AI-based forecast for the Chinese stock market, Shenzhen, Shanghai, and also Hang Seng, to the local market here in Singapore, the SGX, and also for the Japanese stock market. And then we will be able to offer the 2 tiers also for those specific stock exchanges. And now I would like to introduce Dr. Roitman, the brain behind the algorithm. He is going to talk about the secret sauce. Please.
Thank you. You need to have a model of the market. Without the model, you won't find head or tails. We look at the market as a complex, self-organizing, chaotic system. It has a fractal structure. There is a constant fight between positive and negative feedback mechanism. The positive mechanism drives the prices, drives the movement of the prices, and negative feedback tries to contain this movement. And also there is a ever-present noise in the market that limits our ability to forecast. The dynamics of positive and negative forecasts and the noise create irregular market cycles. It creates bubbles on different time scales. We use wavelets to model such market dynamics of irregular non-stationary systems like the markets are. When you do time frequency analysis of the markets, you'll find there are 3 types of noise, or 3 types of signals, whatever you call them. There is a random white noise. There is no correlation in time. There is a Brownian motion noise, no correlation between increments. And there is also an important part is a frequency-dependent noise. This frequency-dependent noise, what it means that there are a lot of gradual trends in the market. There are small movements in the markets, but there are only few large movements. So there is inverse relationship between the magnitude of the movement and the frequency. That is a problem. It tells us that it's a stochastic process. Another important property of the market is a fat tail distribution. When you measure the price distribution within any time range, you'll find that the distribution is much broader than what normally it's much broader than what would have been expected from the normal Gaussian distribution. What happened? Oh, okay. Okay. If now about the fractal structure of the market. If one looks at the market at different degrees of magnification, one finds they are similar. This self-similarity is a property of fractals, and it's governed by power laws and scale invariance. When you plot the what it means that if you have this function of then if you scale the argument x by constant factor c, you only get a proportional scaling of the function itself. When you plot a log when you have a log plot of these two function and the argument, you'll have linear relations. You'll have a straight line, and the slope of this line is a Hurst exponent, and it tells us what kind of market you are dealing with. If Hurst is exactly 1/2, that's a random walk, Brownian motion, and has a normal distribution. If it's less than 1/2, it's a mean reverting process, negative feedback, usually with high noise. If it's Hurst is over 1/2, that's the most important part, most interesting part. It's a process with memory, high persistence, and less noise. It has a positive feedback. Now, what are the problems we encountered in learning the markets? The first is the rarity of the singular and big events. So there are not enough examples to learn, and the markets are very noisy, and you need a lot of examples to learn them. There are constantly changing market forces. The circumstances never repeat exactly. There is a problem of partial observability. We really don't know all of the factors that affect the price. We have to go with what we have. And some important variables are not updated daily, but quarterly, and of course there is always a news flow that affects the market that it's difficult to capture. So how do we solve all these problems? We use expressiveness. What it means that we modify the inputs in different ways to present it to the neural network for easier learning. We use generalization. We generalize by building a model, by fitness function, by regularization. We use plurality of forecasts and multi-representation. What it means, for each item, we have different points of view, many different points of view, and then at the end we merge all these points of view into one forecast. We use principal component analysis that's built in to identify the most important inputs that affect at the moment the price action. Finally, we use genetic algorithm. It constantly refines the pool of predictors, deletes the worst one, and creates new ones. And that also gives the system adaptability, because it's constantly changing to adapt to changing market conditions. Now, this system it's been running for at least 5 years in the present form. Now we want to transition from forecast to trading. What's the difference between forecast and trading? There is for a forecast, it's enough if you are right more than 50% of the time. Then if you have enough resources, you can win in the long run. But for the more efficient, sophisticated trading system, you need to have a plan, a contingency plan. You need to answer questions: when to enter, when to exit, target price, time to target, contingency plan, and build a portfolio. Now, when we learned about DeepMind and how they used reinforcement learning to play Atari, we decided it gave us inspiration. The market is also a game. It's a real game. So we decided to use reinforcement learning in the way they did, but we made some modifications, customary modification. For instance, we don't use okay, what we use is a Q-learning combined with LSTM recurrent network. And you already saw it from previous speakers. Q-learning learns the value Q of being in a given state and taking a specific action. There is an additional term for a long-term reward. It's a Bellman equation that takes the maximum of the expected reward in all the future actions. So there is additional term taken with the gamma discount factor. That's thank you very much. Oh.
So what the conclusion is that it's not easy to.
It's not easy to predict the market.
But we believe that there are some AI-based methods that can help.
Thank you.